What is going on, everybody? We're in here, the core MMA, uh, continuing our talks on MMA judges and scoring criteria. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. It really helps me out, especially with those clicks on the like. It gets YouTube picks up my algorithm. I could really use that. But like I said, we're gonna continue our conversation regarding MMA judges scoring criteria. We are the third rung down now with duration. So let's start at the top. Again, MMA is a judges. It's a big tiebreaker system with the judges. So at the top, it goes damage. We want to score damage. The next tiebreaker down is dominance. We want to be dominant, and then the one after that is duration. What is duration? Now this is where things get a little fuzzy. Duration is kind of a funny word for a fight. So let's go right into it. We're going to take it right from the ABC website, Association of Boxing Commissions, right in the Unified Rules. Read the definition right here. Duration. Duration is defined by the time spent by one fighter effectively attacking, controlling, and impacting their opponent, while the opponent offers little to no offensive output. So one person's really pushing the fight. A judge shall assess duration by recognizing the relative time in a round when one fighter takes and maintains. This is big. I'm going to read that again. A judge shall assess duration by recognizing the relative time in a round when one fighter takes and maintains full control of the effective offense. This can be assessed by both standing and grounded. Okay. Um, Fairly similar to dominance, I feel. But what does this mean? All right. So let's say, like, if these are the fights that get booed. Let's face that. Let's say if someone's holding someone against the fence and both guys are kind of working, but one person's just keeping them against the fence. That would be duration. Okay, the guy holding him against the fence is the more dominant position, so to speak. Let's try not to use that word. It's a better position than the fighter not against the fence. All right, or if someone's taken down in the guard and neither fighter is doing anything. Now, okay, these are the parts that get stood up. I forgot about this. So now, let's say a fighter takes another fighter down. He's in his guard. Neither fighter is really doing anything to truly try to push the fight. Duration, by the definition, means that the person in the guard that landed the takedown is on top, is in the better position, so he's winning that situation, regardless if they get stood up or not. That is his winning instance. That is his winning situation. That's his score towards the judges. And then, of course, let's say if both fighters are standing now. Now, this is the other third part. Let's say both fighters are standing, one person stalking down the other person, and the opponent's just circling and trying to get out of harm's way. That would be a duration of the person pushing the fight. That no one's doing dominance or impact damage. So that the person looking for the fight, the person stalking, would be scoring there, so to speak. You got to remember that this is the third tiebreaker. This is not, this is only to decide. Something needs to happen. Something needs to give. Usually, in the middle of these instances, the judges do, the referees do a good job of saying, "Let's go. Let's pick up the pace. Let's pick up the pace." Now, in Japan, and during these instances, that's when the yellow and red card gets pulled out. You get your percentage docked. So I was trying to think of good examples for duration here. Now, let's say, okay, I had a fight with Mark Stevens in Bellator where I pretty much held him against the fence for 10 minutes, 2 rounds the duration. We were both working. We were never separated. I guess technically that might make it dominance, but it was duration. It was the damage being dealt and the dominance being dealt was effective. It wasn't necessarily a boring fight. Maybe I'm just saying that because I'm being biased to myself. But um, the ultimate example of this would be, I about 15 years ago there was a fight, Nate Corey versus Caleb Starnes. Caleb Starnes in protest was he wasn't gonna fight, or he was in there but he wasn't gonna fight. He literally ran away or backpedaled for the entire 15 minutes, and Nate Corey tried to face him, run him down. I forgot what the protest was. It was something with the UFC, something with his contract, but he didn't throw a single punch the whole fight. He just kind of backpedaled away from Nate Corey. Nate couldn't do anything on him. Crowd was booing like crazy. Um, That's a fight where, I'm sure like someone like Andy Foster, who's very big on the on the refs getting involved with the scoring. I think a point should have been taken. Actually, I got to look back. I wonder if a point was taken. I don't believe there was, but might actually no. I think there was. I think the judges took a point. I think the judges called a 10 point, but the ref didn't get involved. But that would be the ultimate duration. That the one fighter for more duration, more of a set time, was pushing the pace against a fighter that didn't want to do anything. Um, Another instance of duration. I'm trying to think here on the ground. I mean, uh, I'm sure Mark Coleman probably showed good duration in his career on top in the guard, but he was the godfather of ground and pound. If you guys can think of any, please leave comments. Duration fighters who controlled, or fight instances. It doesn't happen a lot anymore, with the way the game has changed. People are training martial arts. Our ground and pound is its own martial art now. People are learning to escape on bottom. Duration is it's really tough to have a set example of duration. Damage is being learned and dominance is being learned on all aspects. But okay, let's say on the ground, another example of duration. For those of you who have wrestled, know what referee's position is. One let's say some fighters on their hands and knees, one hand's around the wrist or the waist, the other hand's around the wrist, or just showing double wrist control, and both fighters are kind of just fighting for that position. That would be a duration position. Think of that as like a 15-second of the fighter on top showing duration, just stuff like that, like in little instances. These are what the judges are trained to score, or supposed to be trained to score anyway. When rounds are even, there was a 15-20 second window where fighter X showed duration. I'm sure that these are fights where we get confused and frustrated with as well, because us as fans, like this is probably the one thing, us as fans, fighters, coaches, we're probably the least familiar with duration. This is probably the one thing that we really don't know, that we really don't get. I'm still having trouble with it. Um, who looks at the TV? Oh, duration. You could easily look at the TV and say damage, dominance. Who's going to look at the TV and say duration? Right there. This is something that we don't really know is being scored or how it's scored. We just look at this as a stale position. So that's something to think about. This may be really important for the judges to express in their rules. That in their explanations that I always try to preach that the whole country should be doing is explain what duration is. These are, it's not necessarily the duration. It's the duration within the whole round, whether it's here, let's see it here. Time. Yeah, the time in a round. Okay, time in a round right at the bottom. So this is like 15 seconds here, 20 seconds there, 18 seconds here. So that shows me that there was 53 seconds of duration scored for this fighter. It doesn't have to be the 53 seconds all at once. There's short little windows that they're looking for with this duration that add up to the tiebreaker. This is okay. Then the other fighter showed two spots and in this very even round of 15 seconds of duration. So this is stuff it's fuzzy. It totally makes sense though after reading it. It's very important, and this is stuff that we probably get confused on, especially with fighters being going forward and not throwing punches and winning rounds. It's stuff like this. Very important piece. But anyway, that's what I got today, guys. Keep tuning in. I can't wait to discuss more about this with the judges and commissions going forward. Again, like, subscribe, and share. Tune into Thursday's video. Talk to you later. Bye.